So my thing is, why does Hollywood hate this movie?
How many pedophiles you got? 288. How many kids you found?
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time to a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
How long have you been doing this?
12 years now.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
Timoteo, por rescatar niños, ¿verdad? Puedes ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana.
Te lo prometo.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
Which means she'll disappear for good. Imagine walking into her room right now, seeing an empty bed. What we do?
You quit your job, and you go and rescue those kids.
So at this moment, she could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA. She's a major operator.
It's all rebel territory. No one goes in. On the army, on the police, not us.
What if this was your daughter?
There's no Marine unit coming.
You're on your own. This job tears you to pieces. And that's just my one chance. Put those pieces back together.
When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate.
Woo! Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sam B right here with the Tune-Up Show. I'm back, baby. I know. Been a while since my last upload. I've been crazy busy. Oh man, I don't even want to get into it, but I definitely want to get into this movie, Sound of Freedom. I have not seen it yet, but it's definitely on my watch list. Okay, so Sound of Freedom. What is it about? Let's get right into this. Wikipedia. Sound of Freedom is a 2023 American action film directed and co-written by Alejandro Monteverde and stars Jim Caviezel, Mira Sorvino, and Bill Camp. Caviezel plays Tim Ballard, a former government agent who embarks on a mission to rescue children from sex traffickers in Colombia. It is produced by Eduardo Verastegui. That's just how I'm going to pronounce it. Correct me in the comments. Who also plays a role in the film. The plot centers around Ballard's Operation Underground Railroad, though some commentators have questioned its accuracy. The film was released on July 4th, 2023 by Angel Studios and has grossed $85 million in the U.S. against a $14.5 million budget. It received mixed reviews from critics, while audience reception has been highly positive. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. Okay, this is all Wikipedia. I'm going to talk just for a little before I get into my headlines. Yeah, who wouldn't want to see a movie about saving children from sex traffickers? Why is this even a discussion? I don't know. It's beyond me. You know why it's beyond me? Because Hollywood is trying their hardest to create this narrative around this movie to where trafficking of children is just, it's fictitious. It's not happening. Okay? According to the Rolling Stones magazine, okay, saying that this movie is being torched by anti-trafficking experts. So let's get into this. Rolling Stones. Why anti-trafficking experts are torching Sound of Freedom. The new movie offers a false perception of child trafficking that experts worry could further harm the real victims. Like I said, I haven't seen this movie yet, but I'm curious of how. Okay, I'm curious of how this movie. This is based. First of all, this movie is based on an actual agent of the country, Tim Ballard. This is based on a real person. If any Hollywood movie was 99.9% accurate, it will be this movie. Mind you, this movie was put on ice for 5 years. Okay, it went through Fox Studios, and then it went through Disney Studios after Disney acquired Fox Studios, okay, and Fox Corporation. Then Disney let go of this movie and gave it to Angel Studios. Okay? Now I'm going to say gave it to them, but they sold it to them, whatever. Now, 5 years later, the movie found a way to get some privatized income so it can be released. So let's get into this. Rolling Stones magazine. When Sound of Freedom, the new Jim Caviezel thriller, right? No, it's a freaking true story, a drama, a thriller. Really, this is what they do. So I'm going to continue. When Sound of Freedom, the new Jim Caviezel thriller about child trafficking, was released in theaters last week, it garnered mixed reviews, to say the least. The movie, with its central narrative about a former Homeland Security agent, Caviezel, mind you, they don't say the guy's real name, okay, it's Tim Ballard, embarking on a high-stakes mission to rescue children from a Colombian trafficking ring, has drawn criticism for its self-serious tone. It stars promotion of conspiracy theories and its dubious source material. Caviezel plays a fictionalized version of Tim Ballard, the founder of the anti-trafficking organization Operation Underground Railroad, which has been accused of embellishing some of his more extreme claims, which they have denied. Not true. Not true. You can look at any... Because, see, they don't want you to look at Fox. They don't want you to look at any other truth associating platforms concerning Tim Ballard. Mind you, Tim Ballard has not appeared on CNN. He has not appeared on any of the left-leaning platforms. Okay, but for some reason they're saying everything has been denied. No, Tim Ballard has says this is the most accurate part of my life, because Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard, if you look at this interview, it's on Jordan Peterson. Look on Jordan Peterson's platform. 3 hours of Tim Ballard and Jim Caviezel, and they're talking pretty much in sync. This is a 99.9% accurate depiction of what really happened with Tim Ballard. But I'm going to move on. Such criticism has stopped people from flocking to the theaters. To date, Sound of Freedom has grossed $40 million. Lies. Actually, due to Forbes, it was $85 million. Okay, you see, they just gonna lie. I'm gonna show you it. So, it says, with many of its defenders framing it as yet another lightning rod in the culture wars and accusing mainstream theaters of suppressing the film, the CEO of AMC, for his part, has denied this, calling such rumors really bizarre. Yet one demographic has expressed concern about the film's tremendous popularity. The anti-child trafficking experts who Sound Film is ostensibly about. All right, I'm just gonna. Wow, they really. Come on, man. Come on. Really? I don't want that on here. I've literally been on 4 different group texts about the damn movie, says Aaron Albright, an attorney who has worked in the anti-trafficking space for 15 years, including as a former fellow for the Department of Justice's Anti-Trafficking Task Force. Albright says Sound of Freedom is grounded in this sensational perspective of what child trafficking would be, rather than reflecting its grim reality. Really? So this guy, whoever this is, Aaron Albright, he's been in this traffic for 15 years, yet we're just now hearing about him. I can only assume that you're one of the guys that's paid off. But this is the Tune Up Show. We're going to keep going. Representative for Angel Studio, which distributes Sound of Freedom, did not respond to a request for a comment about questions regarding its accuracy. However, in a blog post on his website, it acknowledges altering some of Ballard's biographical details and that the film took creative liberties in depicting the different methods of child trafficking. So look, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to put all these things, I'm going to put all these articles on there. Okay? So we're going to continue. This is The Guardian blasting the movie to be a part of QAnon. And for anybody who knows about QAnon, QAnon was the so-called fascist group that was supposedly behind Trump. Okay? And making Trump, this person against all blacks, and this racist white supremacist movement. But when the movie was made, QAnon didn't even exist. Okay, this movie was made 5 years ago. All right, it was on ice for 5 or 6 years. So let's do this. Whatever. Type the word Sound of Freedom to Twitter. Decent people who wish to live good, happy lives should under no circumstances actually do this. Wow, look at this. Now, mind you, this is The Guardian. The Guardian, to me, used to be a very credible news source, but now I see they done drunk the Kool-Aid as well. So I am not going to be dealing with The Guardian anymore. Okay? It says, type the word Sound of Freedom into Twitter. Decent people who wish to live good, happy lives should under no circumstances actually do this. And the search will yield dozens of triumphant reports crowing about the improbable victory of a film by that title over the likes of Indiana Jones at the box office this week. Yes, it did kill Indiana Jones. You know why? Because you killed Indiana Jones first. Okay, with that BS movie with Shia LaBeouf, nobody liked it. Okay, everybody cared about Indiana Jones. The first 3 Indiana Jones, classic. You know, I really like Harrison Ford in those movies. It was great. But once they started adding on, once Disney got a hold of it, we already knew where it was headed. Okay? Right. So let's move on. That's not strictly speaking accurate. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny had already been out for 5. No, it hasn't. Just like, and just so many freaking lies. Had already been out for 5 days, the first 3 of which out-earned Sound of Freedom's opening day take when the new independent thriller came to theaters on Tuesday, but for a fleeting moment this past 4th of July, while the intended audience of Indy's latest outing was presumably spending time with their families and friends at barbecues or in other social situations, and unoccupied fandom rallied by the star Jim Caviezel's claim today with a 14.2 million gross versus Dial of Destiny's 11.7 million. Okay, so that's what it is. They match it up. Okay? So they're trying to blame the 4th of July because nobody goes to the movies on 4th of July, right? So last time I checked, one of the biggest blockbusters I've ever heard of that came out on the 4th of July was what? Independence Day, starring Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, right? That was the biggest blockbuster of 4th of July. So I guess nobody goes to the movies on 4th of July, right? No, they do. Stop playing these games. Stop the cat. Stop the cat. No matter, these figures require selective, almost willfully misleading framing to allow for the David and Goliath narrative trumpeted by supporters as the copious tweets accusing Disney of being in cahoots with a global cabal of high-power pedophiles make clear the truth doesn't have too much purchase around these parts. Now, I'm going to hit a few things. We're going to get into this. Now, they said that AMC said that, they said that people were saying, hey, the air conditioning was off. Okay. There's so many things about like people that order the tickets online. Somehow those tickets were refunded back to them. Okay. But see, this is where they go wrong. Okay. And I actually found out about this through actual sources in Hollywood, people that know the movie business. So it turns out that it doesn't matter if you refund all the tickets or you have to postpone the tickets or whatever happens with the tickets. The box office, they only record the initial bought ticket. That system has never changed. Okay, so it doesn't matter if that ticket was refunded or not. It only matters if it was bought. And that goes to the box office records. Okay? That's what it's all about. So I'm going to play this real fast.
Just walked out. Hi. And we are curious what your experiences were in the movie theater because we pre-ordered our tickets. Paid for them, they were claimed, got the link sent, and this is an AMC theater in Pineville, North Carolina. Some point today, the tickets got refunded to my friend and we couldn't figure out why. So we come anyways to the theater after dinner and they're like, oh, well, we refunded all the tickets because there's no air conditioning in our theaters. Okay, whatever, we don't care. Are you still showing it? Yeah, you can still watch it. So we get to thinking, why did they not send out a notice in the email saying, hey, we refunded your tickets because there's no air conditioning? And we just are curious why didn't they let us know? There was no one in that theater. There was us 4 and 4 other people, 8 people in the theater on a Friday night. There was air conditioning in the lobby. There was air conditioning in the hallways. There was air conditioning in the bathrooms, not the theaters. They don't have the bartender or anything in the theater. I smell something stinky.
Hey, you know what, sweetheart? You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Because it is something stinky. It's foul. It's incredibly bad that the fact that AMC theaters, and look, this is a moviegoer, you know, I can just tell by the tone of her voice and the look on her face and the fact she went straight to TikTok. Look, everything's is skeptical, okay? Everything can be suspicious. I could be very, cynic at times. But when it comes to movies like this, and mind you, I have not seen this movie yet, but I will watch this movie. I will go to see this movie, and I will give my unbiased, answer to this movie. I already know what it's about. I already know Jim Caviezel is he's going to bring it. Jim Caviezel is the guy that doesn't have to work because he works for God. Although I don't necessarily agree with his Catholic upbringing, because the Catholic Church is to me it should be under investigation and questioning. But if Jim Caviezel, if he's truly doing work for God, I just hope that God is truly leading him to do this, because this is a very, very, very good movie from what I'm seeing. And anything that's full of truth is always going to be a target. Okay, because a lot of people think, oh, well, the truth should bring people. No, the truth doesn't bring people together. The truth separates people. Okay? And that's really what it's all about. The truth separates. Okay? Because, see, you got a lot of people out here that think, oh, ignorance is bliss. It is what it is. The truth separates. So, am I going to see this? Yes, I'm definitely going to see this movie. I will be giving my take on this movie because this has to deal with real people, real problems, real solutions. And it's dealing with kids. It's dealing with kids, children that cannot stick up for themselves. It's based on a real person that actually quit his job, left his family. Tim Ballard left his family to go hunt down these child traffickers. What more of a hero story can you ask for? Hollywood, you either turn to God or you turn over. Because the people have spoken. We are sick and tired of your blasphemy. We are sick and tired of your self-entitlement bullshit. And the people, the 99% of people that actually run this earth, you don't run this earth, you run a section of this earth. So the 99% of people that actually run this earth, we tell you this: leave the kids the hell alone. Peace!